What is up, YouTube? This is a video that I've been wanting to make for a very long time. A state of the collection video. I have been into watches for forever, it feels like. Ever since I was in junior high, I wore a Timex Expedition on my wrist for literally a year and a half straight. So much though that it compressed my wrist, my left wrist, which is why in this video I'll be putting all my watches on my right wrist. SOTC videos have been my happy place of YouTube when I would just want to relax and I want to see someone's collection and hear about why they like their watches and why they're meaningful to them. And I figured this would be a really good time to do a video of my own. And this is my whole collection right now. I have 9 watches and the 9th one is in here that I'm going to show you guys at the very end of this video. So stick around to find out what that is. But yeah, I love watches. In high school, I got my very first mechanical watch, which is actually not in here. I sold it to my brother for 20 bucks. It was an homage of a Rolex Submariner date by the brand L'Oreal. It was like 80 bucks at the time, maybe 100 bucks. Came on a metal bracelet and I wore the crap out of it because I wanted to have a Submariner, but I thought there's no freaking way that I would ever own a Submariner. Saved up money for several weeks to get it and I rocked that thing every day until I got this watch. So I guess that's where we will start. I got this watch as a gift from my parents while I was in high school. I believe it was my junior year of high school. So this was like 2018 or 2017. I don't remember the exact year, but it's the Orient Bambino, the cream dial version. This came originally on a leather strap, but I quickly changed it out for a blue rubber strap. And then that one broke. And so I decided to get another blue leather strap about a month ago now. But this time I got it on a deployant clasp and I really like it. I think it's pretty neat. I got married in this watch and this watch means a lot to me. I love how it feels. I love how the blue hands match the color of the strap. I think it's such a cool look. And this watch actually keeps some of the best time out of all my other watches, which is kind of funny, just like the random Orient that I have. And yes, I've worn the crap out of this thing as well. I am proud to say that I have worn this in the ocean. I know it's only like maybe 100 meters of water resistance. I really hope it's not 50. That'd be really awkward if I said that. So much sentimental value. Gift from my parents, wore it on my wedding day. And I have also traveled the world with this thing. Great watch. If you want a dressy looking watch for not too much, go for this one. We've got this behemoth right here. This is the Seiko 5 Sport. And it originally came on a rubber strap, but I changed it out for this parachuter strap from CNS. No, not Central Nervous System. Cheapest NATO straps. They are not sponsoring this video. This watch is amazing. I took my engagement pictures in this watch. I bought it while I was in college, probably when I was about a year into college, and it's great. I've worn this watch in the ocean. I took it to Brazil. I've taken it to Europe, to Costa Rica, and it's just my travel, do everything watch. I am never afraid of this thing breaking or of it getting banged up, scraped, or anything. It's great. I know it's pretty big on my wrist. I have skinnier wrists, big hands, and I'm 6 foot tall. And so doesn't look horrible when you kind of see the rest of the ensemble going on. But I love the colors. I actually love the finishing of the case as well. Even though this watch is pretty big, it's never failed me. I love the clicky bezel. It's just great. Also lots of sentimental value attached to this piece and I'm never getting rid of it. Also these bands are really, really fun. Look at how stretchy they are. They just are really great for traveling when you're changing to different climates. It's going from hot to cold, from humid to not. Next is the big yellow watch, the big bird of the collection. This is my Vostok Komandyrski. Fun story about this one. Me and my 2 other roommates at the time, we all decided to buy Vostoks on a massive order off of the original Vostok website, which if you do that, you save a lot on shipping and product cost. So this thing only cost me about 60 bucks. And this is an automatic watch, in-house movement. Look at how the dial pops. It originally came on a metal bracelet, but Vostok metal bracelets are kind of garbage. So I put it on a different strap that is actually on the Rolex Submariner homage, the L'Oreal that I sold to my brother. And so along with the order of This watch is a deployant clasp. I got this black one, and this is now one of my favorite watches. I love wearing this thing now because it fits so great on the wrist, and look at how it pops. You might think, oh, it's a big, massive yellow watch, it won't go with anything. It goes with a lot more than you might think, and I totally love that about it. Some other fun things about the watch, these Vostok crowns. I don't even know what the term is for it, but they're wobbly. And I think it's to prevent crown damage. But I don't know if you can see the play in this crown. But that's all intentional, it's part of the design. It's to prevent you from hitting the crown while you're adjusting it and it like messing up the crown stem permanently. So yeah, really cool watch, and I'm also never getting rid of this one. Out of all the watches that I own, this one gets the most comments and the most looks. I even had a coworker a few weeks ago take a picture of this and say, man, I really got to get myself one of these. And yes, these watches are great. I highly recommend. Although I did at one point have to fix this watch because the watch rotor, I could hear it scraping, and that usually means that like the screw or the pin holding the watch rotor down, I don't know if that's actually the right term, but like the winding rotor means that the screw probably came out. So I had to take the case back off, and I fished around for the screw. It eventually fell out of the movement. It just like lodged itself inside, and I screwed it down, and it's actually been fine ever since, but that was kind of terrifying. That happened only like a year after I got it. So maybe some quality control issues with the Vostoks. For less than $100 when I bought this watch, that's not bad. Also, all of these watches are in chronological order from when I received them. This next watch is a gift that I received from a patient. I know it's not very encouraged to receive gifts from patients or to accept gifts from patients, but the nature of the job that I had at the time, I was working as a transcranial magnetic stimulation technician. I know that's a mouthful. That meant that I was seeing each of my patients for 36 consecutive days. I was working with them one-on-one for 30 minutes each of those days. And I really got to know these individuals well. And one of them on their last day gave me this watch. It's like a $15 to $20 Casio, but I love it so much. I wear this when I go running, when I go to the gym. Another one of those do everything watches that I never have to worry about failing me. And my daughter actually loves wearing this watch. She's only 2, well, not even 2, she's almost 2, but I'll put it down super small and then just give it to her, and she'll put it on her wrist, and it's super cute. And this is not a watch that I would normally buy or wear, but because it has that incredible value attached to it, I love wearing it. It's a reminder to really serve patients. I'm applying to medical schools right now, so I'm in the thick of that interview process, and I have a feeling that I'm going to be wearing this watch a lot in medical school to remind me of that. It's so important to have those good connections with patients and to treat them as if they were your family. This watch reminds me of that every time I wear it. Next, another Casio. I got this one about 2 years ago, actually almost 3 years ago. That's crazy, but I love this thing. It is the Casio Bluetooth Solar, so it is charged by the sun, which is pretty dang cool. I got this for myself for Christmas. I got like a little bit of money for Christmas, and I decided, you know what? I'm gonna get the Casio Bluetooth Solar. And this is the watch that I wear in the OR right now. I work in the operating rooms right now as an orderly, and so we're oftentimes in contact with like blood and other bodily fluids. So this is great because if any of that gets on this watch, it's not gonna like soak into it like it would on this strap. This is my OR watch currently. I had to bring it home from the OR for this video. I can actually connect this to my phone and set alarms. I can also use this watch to find where my phone is. If it is within Bluetooth reach, I can hold down a button and it'll start an alarm on my phone. So I like how it has tons of different functions. There's an app that you can get for this watch that you can program a bunch of stuff on and get some cool functionality out of it. So I think it's pretty cool. Okay, now going on to my very first luxury purchase. This watch I got right after my daughter was born, and I really wanted a luxury watch. But before I wanted that, I actually really wanted to get a motorcycle, which I know is stupid of me to want a motorcycle after just recently becoming a dad, sort of like a death wish. But my wife, who is way more intelligent and foresighted than I am, she said, maybe that's not the smartest idea. Maybe you should get a watch instead of a motorcycle. And so I spent the next several months trying to figure out within the budget of about $1,000 what I wanted to get. And this was high on that list, but it was always just slightly out of reach price-wise until there was a listing on Chrono24 for $1,100. The guy had only worn it about 10 times, and I snatched that offer up really fast. And after owning this watch, I can confidently say that I will never get a Rolex Explorer, because look at it. It does everything that an Explorer could ever do. This is my Explorer. I love the accent of the red. I love how sleek it is. It's also a very thin watch. The H-linked bracelet, the crown guards. It also has an amazing exhibition case back. It's made out of German engineered tegimented steel. It also has an adjustment that you can throw it over a wetsuit, which I will probably never use in my lifetime. Still kind of cool though. And this is definitely my most worn watch at the moment. It's the watch that looks good with anything. It's so legible, you can always tell what the time is. The lume is pretty decent. I'd say it could be better. The best lume is definitely the Seiko. And I love this thing so much. It reminds me of my daughter, and she loves to play with this watch as well. This is my beater watch. I think there's something charming about buying an expensive watch and then like beating it to death. I just really like that. And I love that I get to do that with this watch. It makes me so happy. I know that might make a few people uncomfortable, but this thing has got a lot of scratches on it. And that is what I absolutely love about this watch. I love that I can scratch it up and just say, you know what, whatever, I'm getting the most use out of it. I'm gonna die someday, and I might as well use my things, might as well use my tools. So yeah, this watch is awesome. And I can't believe that I got the deal that I did. I paid about $1,300 for it after taxes and shipping. And I think if you look online right now, most listings are for like above $1,300 to begin with, you know. I see a lot for like 16 right now. So I got this for a very good deal. I'm very happy about it. I got this Casio just a few months after this is in, because I realized that I wanted another watch that was on a metal bracelet that was just a little bit more dispensable. And this was like 20 bucks. So I just went for it. I just ordered it on Amazon. And I've also worn this a lot in the OR. It's great. It's a great little Casio. Easy to wash blood off of, easy to clean, looks good with everything. And if I'm doing something that I know is going to be pretty rough, I will just throw this on. And it's pretty great. And you can adjust this part with pretty much anything that's pointy. So pretty easy to adjust if your wrist starts swelling or anything. It's great. I love this thing. Shout out to Casio. I'm also so excited to gift some of these watches to my kids someday. And I really hope that they treasure them and take care of them. This is my Omega. And no, you might be thinking that this is thousands of bucks, but this is an Omega DeVille from the 70s, although at least I think it's from the 70s. I don't know exactly the year that it's from, but look at how thin that is. It is almost as thin as the strap that it's on. That's just crazy. And this was a gift from a very close friend and coworker that was generous enough to want to buy this for me. He's also a watchmaker himself, and he gifted me this watch. And I'm so grateful to have it. I've worn this to all of my medical school interviews so far but one. And just hold up, just check out how this wears. This is by far the smallest watch that I own. I can't even notice it on my wrist, but just look at its profile. Like, that's crazy. Once you've worn a watch this small, it changes how you feel about small watches. Okay, apparently my camera is overheating, so I have to do this a little bit quicker. But yes, this thing is amazing. I'm never getting rid of this watch. These are surprisingly affordable. This was like a few $100 on eBay. And now on to the last one. This is a very special one because it is the very first Rolex that I've ever owned. And it is the Rolex Datejust from 1987. Now, if you know watches, something is immediately off when you look at the dial, because the hands hour, and the minute hand, and the indices are all painted black. And that was actually done by the original owner of the watch. Now, this watch was given to me by my wife's grandma. Her husband passed away, I think 13 or 14 years ago now, and this has been sitting in her closet, not on this strap, but actually on the bracelet, but the bracelet is actually broken right now. I'm waiting to get that fixed, and while I'm waiting for that, I'm wearing it on this suede strap. Since he's passed, this has just been sitting in her closet, and we've gotten to know this grandma very, very well over the past few years. We've gotten very close with her, and she knows that I like watches. And one day she just said, you know what? Why don't you just have it? It's just sitting in my closet, and none of my kids are gonna know how to take care of it, and they're not gonna wear it. So why don't you have it? I know that you would wear it and that you would take care of it and that you would appreciate it. I am sad that I never got to meet the owner of this watch, my wife's grandpa, but I am so glad that I get to be the person that can wear this every day. It is so beautiful, and I cannot wait to get it on the original 14 karat gold bracelet. So yeah, this is 14 karat gold, Rolex Datejust from 1987, and it is so cool. That's one of the things I love about watches. I love how they can just hold so much sentimental value, and I don't know if any of my watches hold as much sentimental value as this one, right? This was a watch that was worn. It must have been worn daily, because if you guys had seen the condition that this watch was in when I got it, it was atrocious. I mean, it looked like it had been worn every day for like 400 years and was never cleaned. Although there are multiple service markings inside on the movement. So I know that this is a genuine watch. It does look kind of bizarre with the blacked out indices and hands. And this is the original box that it came in as well. I have the pillow as well still, but the pillow is sort of garbage. It's flaky and stuff, so I have that in a plastic bag. But I love this thing, and I'll keep this forever, and I'll always cherish it. And with that, that concludes this State of the Collection. Drop a comment below about what your thoughts are, and make your own State of the Collection video, even if you only have a few watches, because we all got to start somewhere. I've been collecting for about 10 years, and this is what we got. So yeah, comment, drop a like, and until the next one.